Predator missile that actually cut down their number and life countdown. Even
of Broke Boys Club, they just need to hold on gameplay. I'm not sure I'm a fan of
power than you, and you gotta play this one.
Let's see those angles that there's no way he gets these 8 kills. Smart Mega, and they make it through.
On the group stage here at GM4, I had to say, because all the matches that
hands down one of the longest days that we've had. Almighty, it's not the that's the third time. Both the 3-0 Smart Mega, but one thing that we can of a series.
it's this is not the upper bracket. There's go down today, and it so happened that, you know, both of this, we already know that it's gonna, we can't make sure you miss that, because it's on that matchup, AJ.
Risky has found that flow. He hasn't fallen asleep just yet, right? Just when you think in place, almost got that first, owns the MVP titles, and God, bro, it's gonna be the most. But in the duration of a single day.
It's a playoff record, and it's an all continue, because not only Mega as a team is chasing that repeat, that might seal them as.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And you know, forward to a little bit of an underdog story. Battlefield and the Broke Boys Club, they
Yeah, the mentality definitely would that you had, you know, it's okay, you lost the, actually it diminished over time. Blacklist International Ultimate just played the MVP of the game, of MVP so far.
the kind of consistency you want to see out of, because even when you have some of your players, you've got a consistent player like this, you know he's going to be able to slay all around for the side of Smart Mega. When you talk about,
yeah, it does, especially when you're playing the for, you know, the break attack removes them out of the way. Be important. And you know what frightens me the most? Player from LF org that is scouted by, imagine the growth that he'd had start of passion and hunger. And he has been influencing this team. Lost. He is still out there place, and that's going
were four. Want the rematch we all deserve for Smart Mega, because the both times have lost to them. That SN almighty, then the probability of finals to earn
matchup, and I kind of fear, because to talk about the history
can break Risky's MVP. Can somehow yeah, I think we're gonna have an it's the best series of the day.
Call of Duty mobile action right now. On the lower bracket final, one AJ.
I don't do for if at all Smart Mega back to have a chance to play in the in the group stages in itself. And Jericho, unfortunately, against Blacklist International, but against Almighty, maybe this time
it might be a little bit tougher. Is a highly experienced team that's tried your kryptonite again. I mentioned earlier in rivalry compared to Almighty has the advantage, but anything Broke Boys Club, something that Almighty capitalize on that, take away that S&D.
no doubt about that at all, right? I mean, there is a the chips may fall the side of all that took that beating a couple of times. This they are strongest right now, but it battlefield because I expect both teams to know but some unforced errors. How the opponents take advantage of those errors. 3 best of 5s in here today because you're not just playing against any team.
It also has to be your mentality here. Just continuing the pace that they built of the day, and the second National Ultimate on the opening match. He has been popping out. No doubt he will be the right maps in here. Maybe that off with a bang and as they will continue. There's Smart Omega, they have Kendi, Kev's Risk.
Scout for our main man Risky, picked up just today alone a man in the name of Irfan J. He had against Blacklist International Ultimate. That Irfan J might be able to level up game. I mean, let's see exactly how things away that MVP title because no time, there's no opportunity to allow the opportunities, which will make the
well, I might see if Risky influences the likes of Almighty, who was Jeff to the lower bracket, and well, they showed their weakness. To see them improve on this matchup is and again, you mentioned Irfan J doing this guy nice here, AJ.
Something I believe is the case for Shut Up and pull away the series from matchup because we saw against Caddy earlier beaten down in both of their hardpoint games.
After that, it really is a problem, you know. They have add into, of course, at least 2 or 3 inside of that Low Kings, and now taking a look at the happy titles, Risky with 7 out of 8. It is very, very close. 6.67 compared to 25.2. Ratio better than Irfan J.
Yeah, out Garena Master so far. Irfan, he's winning it by 2 already. That series is making the biggest world.
Yeah, you gotta love it. Irfan J scoring the victory, but it's not a matter of thinking.
Match. Risky might still pick up the MVP hand, but if you want to look at the all, right, a total of 4 picked up, and that's of Smart Omega. It's not the man dominant in all of those respawn matches. Specifically today, Risky has been on.
It might be his birthday. It might be his birthday, and that's why maybe a version of himself.
But
and
why
now
birthday?
No, it's just the fact that Cavs on his fire. Pattern that we saw from Cavs. Take off, open the skill band, pure can definitely use that hard point. Looking for you in this best of 5, AJ.
Gonna be a curveball potential. Smart Omega walk away. Have to make sure they don't allow. We can expect the very best in the past, right? It's not like they're too shabby on it. Over that Hacienda map. So if at all,
and of course, to be successful at this way, because and they played through their against WP of Low Kings. It's on that hard point number 2 where Low Kings and the best hard point for Smart, their rotations are gonna be clean. Players in that hard point
because just so much better on hard. A 40% win rate for all. Literally one of the best teams within MSP. League of game modes out there that's played twice on the best mode, right? Perhaps now's the time where.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you on that one. Not 2, but 3 coaches. They studied the opponents, actually taking in effect as Smart Omega map up against Almighty on the upper hard point.
Vision of Smart Omega, so taking down the player holding on to that position as well. Off between the two in terms of gunfight, but
this is just exactly what I was talking. And supposed to say that hard point soon would change, because as we open up 5 holding up the rotation, so
at least Smart Omega's money hill. I think we've seen them for the approach. One player steps on in the that's gonna be a no-go. But finally spawn at the Special Forces base.
I mean, and when you needed that Holger 26 is to spray them down. Also, serious step up for this guy. For AMT with Smart Omega only having
the rest of the Smart Omega players to engage pulls away the hill.
Immediate effect and the adjustment inside the gravity vortex gonna be on at the red rooms.
Yep, and that's the trying his very best to get the wall banks out of
AMT will be able to get that mid-map. Smart Omega's pace definitely is only inside the hill.
boy, and it's all doesn't, and it finds the back of Incent. He'll get shut down, and it is the hill.
He is actually struggling in terms of points here at this hard. Trying to flip the spawns. Look at him. For the squad, and of course, give that to Jeff to spray these players down, and so
finds no one, hops onto the hill, a little
players rotating towards the second hard point, and well, slide in to pick one more player, but the guy
Kev's got Nate, will find there, but he doesn't get it. 148 to 84 off of that Spec Force's face. If they have time, Indra backs him up as well. From nowhere, shut up with the Annihilator investment.
holding off that auto repair shot, but the good seconds, but AMT here from J second, and that is gonna be it as we open up this next hill. It's
struggling a tad bit against them, but the game's not over though as well. No entry for anyone, and
that's currently what AMT is hard point number 3, and it's all because decided to push, which is kind of
steps ahead in terms of the rotation, but away. But with the 3-coach setup, you as well as Jeff Pro, Shut Up gets taken out of the equation.
just dangerous if you're Almighty just taking a gravity vortex enabled, so that is going off of that, and now they've really having a great job at all.
King manages to hop on, and his sound in terms of investment for it's going to go down to that auto repair. The advantage in terms of security.
This is important now for all on the scout tower, and guess what? What to this hard point?
Tower taken away by Smart Omega. Also have Idra with the SKS just the spawn, and then they need to circle into the on into P2 while soaking up the point.
Almighty's Predator missile, and that's it. They're gonna still put up a great fight. They have There they go. The push continues.
Not a mega. Almighty doesn't look like they're in the halfway through. Heaven with a double. Pretty take this match away from the side of Almighty.
The counter Almighty's pusher and F for the win, and he shots this blade.
Matchup is compared to that hard point down, but it was only because Smart on the back foot, Almighty with their dog. Those few early rotations that every single gunfight, and we're talking of so well. They take the spawn at Shao. Later on, when they had P3, they ready to spawn way back at that back circle in to even get close to that.
Down to how well the gravity vortex right thin, but of course every player used it. It's Almighty getting the adjustments being made there. They lost their chance of getting back on like the first two set of rotations, but he put in the attack, and that's where
one thing to smile about if you're an Almighty. He does not. So that is 6 to up, but it's not going to matter at the end of the day. The tiles, but they still lose out those matches. And I think Almighty just needs to hitting those scopes yet again, getting those. Don't know if he's in the mood just yet, Callie.
First bloods in the group stage. Compared to how well Idra has been playing. Indeed, this time it's a map pick by Almighty. And this is where you kind of just think Sniper equals the better, depend on your snipers to get those first bloods. Omega, it hasn't been really hitting at all.
Triple snipe setup as a great way. But when you meet someone like Smart Omega as well, that the CBR does most. The FHJ, it's going to be playing.
At least now we know he's not going to pull up any.
Too fast, man. You never know. Irfan J. Oh, connects with Shut Up, tags him up, just say. Bro, could have taken that, but risky.
Omega cabs. Where was 15 seconds left and towards the staircase. Zero for Smart Omega. Great job on the initiation.
No doubt whatsoever for the side of Smart. As long as they can find their composure. Seven gets taken down halfway through. To the side of Almighty.
You can play momentarily. He's gonna spot. have to play for that post plant.
Both sides play the long range with the Krieg. Spot him. Not going to be able to take that.
Sniper in the worst time possible.
And Smart Mega up 2-0. Wait, we won that round? Oh, this is just start to get a tad bit nervous. Whooping
Yeah.
The equation is well. It's a 1-for-1.
This is kind of that bomb. He's not definitely doesn't have any, and he's gonna be able to put that bomb down. Want to go up against Shut Up, who's been locking
Now, because as the attacking team, Smart Mega equation and the distraction's perfect for him. But that's the least of their worries. They need to deal. I mean, the speed of wipeout. Very, very talented Smart Mega is it.
with them getting that plant early on, because for their attack side. Great way here for Heaven and Shut Up to. So that will be a 1v2 Kendi.
Can he do it? All about the timing though. Plano. I believe those players are all around him already. Heaven. And takes Shut Up out of.
Call. That's just what happened, but you got angle there, by the way. Many players. That was some really good for him.
B side, Whoopi's gonna find this block here over Almighty, but to this place of Almighty now. Position grenade will slow them down. That's why you need to just go in and take your to say hello.
Oh my god. Nice conversion done. You open Smart Omega there. Definitely.
I mean, this is just that planning against Almighty here. To take that revenge out on them is definitely this time around. The match is not over for them. Just beautiful headshot out of Risky, takes it out. It's once again a 2v2.
Yeah, he can force a. And AMT, they are guarding that
All the way around through. But he spots out the player. What a clutch!
bad here. That was just a 2 more rounds away for Idra from Idra.
The player will be no. Mega, they still have that one-man advantage.
Being friendly at all, that is definitely. Omega's is kind of waiting for them to pop up. Catch in here as Incendio is kind of playing there to pick him up, and that's it. 4v.
The numbers just need to be thinned. That bit off, and
well, they are kind of number 2 can force a rotation. Scope God! First blood!
match point, and this looks like Mega against the might just be exactly scoreline 7-1 at Summit. Able to do anything about it.
And Whoopi, I mean, those. Of course, smokes made here by M.
J takes a double. Incendio chips in as if you ask me.
Oh, Incendio. I think it's 2. Okay, second. No.
So too risky against risky. Mighty's Irfan J off of from afar, so that's all good. Incendio hides on in towards that open central. It's the basketball god and Whoopi!
Day and a chance for Smart Omega to.
Six. Captain Incendio can get 3 and risky.
Let's blame it on. Well, I mean. So maybe it's all because to step up and win this for the squad. Up 2-0 up against all my age.
Me, sir, me.
I think
me.
strats.
I already said there was no way. It was just the game style of Smart Omega. Earlier on, and they got 3-0. Monsters. So hiding strats or not, be easy. They may be able to take once. It might just happen again.
2-0 here. For Smart Omega, and you have to be very match the best game mode for all my able to dominate them in the hard point. Of course, with their combined with the staying power, in Idra do all the work for you with be a deja vu, or is it here and they will have to play. They start on the defensive side.
Who has been struggling past hardpoint matches. That's 5. And that's not a good record moving on into the other hand. just coming off of a in the low bracket, should have enough extra bit of adrenaline to push all the way. Catching up is going to be pretty.
It's the past history of Smart Omega and number 5, where the defensive side that play the defensive sides, and defensive side of this map it is as well. But definitely that's not.
This was hard point. I need.
Definitely hurts, but I mean,
now the brain needs a little bit of caffeine.
This game ends. If we see a game number 5.
Asking me to pray for a 3.
You have to win for sunset. You have to win
At
for
least
sunset.
I get to pretty much dominate that A. Keeping toe to toe with Almighty.
Yeah, of course, and it's gonna be very vital because you're gonna have a 5 spree. It's just single.
To expect his opponents from. The issue is it's possible. Evident, shut up. Just try.
Looking so dry right now. Laser focus in terms of playing that. More advantage for them coming through.
They are definitely. Mind is running out of options here. Now is the
Because of WPM Low Kings ending that. Knowing all this, that 6. Their loss up against WPM Low Kings.
This is crazy. 22 to 24. Stacking on the control room, all of the same. Who are going the extra mile. So that they stand a better chance. But still gets captured.
I mean, looking at what's happening, Smart to be as AMT finds their elimination. Will be able to defend it much better. That is gonna matter here is that they have prevent AMT from getting it, but now fighting for that setup as well, and
Almighty with a 2 life. He takes Risky out of the equation, but look at Tin. Round. What?
oh, Tin. This turns some heads and creates. It's not gonna happen because Omega, they're gonna. Shut up will be caught in the act, and
I can. That's Almighty down here at the lower brackets. Defense as well.
they look ain't even playing well here. They're getting outbeaten on the and it's really paying the price. They don't have these 2 segments. There's one more segment in.
9 lives. Sorry, lost 7. Risky holding on to the objective alongside. Has already given up on this matchup. I don't.
Omega running them down over and over again. They lose your opponent, and Omega now just. And they will be able to sweep AM.
3-0 on control as well. 7 lives to their side. Almighty still has on that B control point with 11 lives. Has been playing this to perfection for a win within this round.
All about taking into consideration. That's the reason why AMT is it kind of falters, as you can see.
It's definitely possible, but to this is what we were talking about from the group. Yeah, right, Jericho.
It was 3-0. He was kind of looked like Al, but yeah.
One hell of a match. Yep, exactly,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
But
Big time.
there was literally no fight. Game mode that they've been so dominant. And we just saw no.
They look unmotivated. They look mighty. They got checked here real. Blame them. I mean, Smart Omega, they were always a step ahead up against Almighty. Attack sides won by Smart Omega could sided game mode be taken over. Objective work, and of course being the MVP.
I am in absolute disbelief. Almighty. That's the game where we so painful so far. Past 5 been on a terrible track record. They've broken their heart because they must have given it their. S&D was clearly a soul crusher. Absolute shutdown out of Smart Omega. Of Almighty. Smart Omega played it. Winning this, I expected a revenge again, but I did not expect this.
Summit control. I have game mode added into the mix of the mobile competition. Even losing the first 2 maps. Yes, they were fighting at side. It was just Omega.
And of course, you know, one of the best anchors that just knows the guy's just hitting those beautiful numbers. This guy was an integral part. And yes, we knew that because it just looked so weird. But it kind of looked convincing. They went up against Blacklist International Ultimate. Their opponents 3-0, and then take scene of the day. Thanks to Omega, we now have
surprised us with their last two matches. User of the WPM low. The loss of Almighty that lives competition, and of course MYS, Smart Omega, WPM Low Kings.
I mean, we need to get a confirmation that heaven's not going to happen. Is Almighty Shue's help World Series, and that should they are doing exactly what it takes. Blacklist Ultimate has got 2 coaches as well. I'm very sure Warren will be back with us, and our Blacklist International Ultimate has got 2 coaches on the. There's so much of sense as to how they beat.
I don't want to explain it as well. My mouth patterns here. Smart Omega has 3. Kings has 1. So yeah.
If you're talking about
coaches here.
fair enough. Finals, and if they do win finals in that upper bracket to face off this international ultimate game to the grand finals with a 1 point already, and they just need to. Is that going to be possible for either? We saw the fact that West Point Mamba Low Kings. Which scoreline was more convincing here, guys? It's going to get tougher from here on in.
Versus on after lineup here today. Ultimate, and potential stuff from them, knowing that tomorrow of making sure that you're going to be Championship Sunday. We will start, and of course start crowning
Drama. And I don't know if this today was shocking. Tomorrow we now have got the creme de up against West Point Mamba Low Kings grand final.
Yeah, I am as well. 8 GMT because it's going for us to see whether Smart Omega will. And of course, stay tuned tomorrow. Here, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
G.